Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Totalbiscuit. So, I have a little bit of an announcement. Some people are not going to like it, but it's important that we be fully transparent about this. So, today we're entering into a partnership with a site called Chrono.gg. It's a trial partnership, and this site is a new startup whose model is to sell one game every day for 24 hours at a discount. These titles are usually a little older, as opposed to brand new games, and so far they've been from indie devs. So, they've had games like Banner Saga. They're currently selling Warhammer End Times Vermintide. They've had Broforce. Now, we've confirmed, both with the company and the developers, that these keys are 100% legitimate Steam keys directly from the dev themselves. They are not grey market items. As part of this partnership, we'll promote a link to the daily sale via social media if and when we think they're selling a game that we can get behind. These will be games that I've given my opinion on in the past, usually in video form or stream form or on the podcast, and basically games that I'm on record as having liked. You know, that opinion is down there, it's set in stone, it says, look, we like this game. Any sale on the site will pay us a percentage of the revenue. Now, I have expressed my concerns for affiliate links in the past, particularly the generic one-size-fits-all fire-and-forget affiliate links that are included with various websites that use affiliate links that are basically covering absolutely everything. Anything they talk about, they have an affiliate link for it. This, to me, I'm a little bit more comfortable with, specifically because it is one game a day, and I can choose which one I wish to promote. Now, I did discuss this on the Co-optional podcast this week, and as a result of that discussion and feedback from other members of the industry, as well as our Twitch subs, we've decided to partner with the site on a trial basis and see how it goes. I've spoken to the owner of the site, I've listened to his vision for the company, and honestly, that vision very much seems to line up with what we do on the channel, which is making sure that consumers get great deals, but also supporting high-quality indie devs and not supporting the grey market. Because we're able to specifically choose which games we promote, and the site only sells one title per day as a matter of course, I feel comfortable with this from an ethical standpoint. However, I am aware, perhaps hyper-aware, of potential conflicts of interest and bias that something like this could introduce into our coverage in the future. I feel that the model that this company is using helps minimize this by selling only one title every day and allowing us complete freedom to promote only the titles that we have a proven track record of liking. I don't believe that something like this compromises the bond of trust between us and our audience, and I don't believe it's unethical. That said, the reality of all of this is that the trust is in your hands. It's in the eye of the beholder. I can't convince you to trust me. I'm hoping certainly that the content that I've created over the past 6 years has given you that reason, and that the reason that you come back is because you trust what I have to say. But ultimately, if you feel like you can't trust me anymore, then absolutely you should stop consuming my content, without a doubt. Don't support people you don't trust. I think you probably know by now that I believe strongly in supporting talented indie developers, and I'm also very much against the grey market reselling of keys. So to me, this partnership is an endorsement of those beliefs, and it's actually attempting to further them, as well as obviously us making money, because that's literally the point of our business. Since I know 100% that these keys are legitimate, and I also know exactly how much money is going to the developer per sale, I feel that it's promoting good consumer practice, driving sales to great games, and of course, making money in the process. Affiliate links are not uncommon, and in fact, they're very common amongst YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and games media websites. The fact of the matter is that we know how to disclose them, we'll fully abide by FTC regulations, and we're going to make it abundantly obvious that anything that we link is part of a sponsorship agreement. It's part of a partnership. We receive some money back as a result of that sale. We get a portion of it. I feel a bit more comfortable with this because we don't have any control over the sales. We can't go to a developer and say, well, if you give us a cut, then we'll promote the game. That's not how it works. We don't make that decision. The games which go on sale on the website are purely under the control of the developers and Chrono.gg. We got nothing to do with it. I don't want anything to do with it. I want no influence whatsoever over that process, because I don't want developers thinking that they have to partner with this company in order to get coverage from me. That's not how it's ever worked. That's not how it will ever work. That has a huge potential for abuse, so we want nothing to do with it. That's payola, for all intents and purposes. Now, whether or not you believe all my shtick, that's up to you. Now, judge me by my actions, judge me by my words. If you think that such a partnership is going to unduly influence and bias our future content, then stop watching my content. I'm not going to hold it against you. In fact, it's not only your right, but arguably your responsibility to stop supporting somebody that you don't trust anymore. Of course, we completely reserve the right to cancel this partnership at any time, and you know what? Maybe it does happen. Maybe people just don't like the fact that we're doing this, and we say this is not worth the trust of our audience, and we cancel it, and we can do that, and that's fine. Anyway, we're going to start at the partnership today with a discount for Warhammer Vermintide. So that just released some new DLC, and you can pick up a Steam key for the game for the discounted price of $18 on chrono.gg/TB. That's chrono.gg/TB. That's available for the next 22 or so hours, at which point the game will go off sale. Now, I've gone on record as enjoying this. I gave it a very positive impression in the video 6 months ago. It was in my top 10 games of 2015. It was nominated as part of the Arbitrary Awards. I think you know that I like this game. It's on record. It's beyond reproach at this stage. So I have no problem encouraging you to buy that game because I've been doing that already. I'd like to, of course, thank everybody for their continued support and reassure you, you will not be getting videos every day saying, oh god, go buy games to make me money. That's not gonna happen. This will be the first and only announcement on the channel as regards to this partnership. The link to each game will always be on chrono.gg/TB, so even if I don't remind you of it, if you want to go buy a game there, then by all means, we'll basically tweet out the games that we endorse and like. Simple as that. I hope this works out. I think it's ethical. I think it's safe. I'm never 100% sure, you know? Who knows? The landscape is ever changing. What I will say, though, is that traditional brand deals have a tendency to influence the kind of content that goes on this channel because they require you to make a video. I like the idea of being able to engage in some sort of mutually beneficial brand deal that does not involve creating content and compromising my creative direction on this channel. I want to be able to cover the games I want to cover because I want to cover them, not because someone's paying me to cover them. So if this is successful, that hopefully means actually less of the traditional brand deals, which, as many people are aware, are pretty much required in bad ad months to support channels, and more of just selling great games to people, which really I've been doing for 6 years. Whether or not you believe a word I just said is up to you. My name's been Totalbiscuit. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks for your continued support. Chrono.gg/TB if you want to buy a copy of Warhammer Vermintide for a discounted price of $18. I'll see you next time.